Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of The Promised Pod. We are joined here with Mitch Hudson, director and writer of The Promised Land.
That's me.
We are here with Richie Johns, the producer of The Promised Land.
Hey.
And we are your host. I am Juan, and this is
Ben.
And we are the social media guys. You may have seen a lot of our clips online and about us. We are trying to become famous.
Yeah. Really?
So this is
think
our
I've
chance.
I haven't
any of those.
seen any.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Well.
I guess thumbs down the ones I do see.
Oh, that would make sense. Okay.
Treat an algorithm not to show me you guys anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Oh,
what
that
I'm
makes a
working
ton
on
of sense.
at the moment.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about The Promised Land, and we shot the first season in St. George, Utah in October of last year. And we thought we'd give you guys kind of an insight into what went on, some of the stories, and all of that. So first of all, give us a little intro and then tell us a little bit about who you are and how you did what you do.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as Juan said, I'm Mitch Hudson. I kind of, I made this show. I made this season. I love writing. I've always loved writing from a young age. And, you know, when this opportunity came along and it was presented to me as like, hey, do you think you could take this concept and make a TV show out of it? I was a little bit intimidated, but I was also like, you know what? Let's try it.
Yeah.
Never written a TV show before. Why not? You know, let's try it out. And I'm extremely excited that it hasn't honestly taken us that long to go from that point where we were like, can we do this? And then a year later we filmed the pilot, and then 2 years after that we filmed season 1, which is kind of insane. Being kind of on the other side of that now is wild, having actually filmed what we wrote last year. You know, by this time that we're recording this, it's been 1 year since I started writing this season that we've now finished filming, and we're now deep in editing it, which is kind of mind-blowing, but feels like a dream come true.
Yeah. What about you, Richie?
Yeah, in some sense, it feels like just yesterday, because in 2021, we, started this whole thing. I don't think we even realized what it could be, when it was presented, and, we were just like, okay, could we make a concept piece? Maybe it is a full pilot episode for like, $20,000, or, we had no clue what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then
this couch cost $20,000.
Where did you get the money? That's what everyone wants to know.
Yeah, well,
we bought a couple of lottery tickets.
lots of pitching and pitch
Bitcoin.
decks.
real answers. Yeah.
That was the question of where do we find this money? And it took us a whole year, a little over. We kind of stepped out like we didn't have any money, and we just kind of were like, well, let's go on a location scout, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it was the fall of 2021. We scouted all over New Mexico. We were in El Paso, and then we scouted White Sands, and a bunch of areas. Landed on Carlsbad, New Mexico. We had great support there, wonderful community and multiple churches that really supported us, and that's actually how we were able to make it a year later in 2022 when we actually shot the pilot episode in that fall, that October. We road tripped out there.
That's right.
You were already in Texas, and then just kind of came over for the pilot. But this whole journey, that even looking back, it's like, it's been actually very fast compared to some other projects. Like some projects, they'll take 7-10 years just to get off the ground and get a first season.
Yeah.
And we had a pilot episode, took a little bit, to find financing for a full season 1. But it's incredible that we're independent. We don't have a studio to answer to. We don't have to submit scripts to a studio or a network for approval. Mitch can tell the story that that is funny but still authentic to scripture, and we want to maintain that.
Yeah.
And so that's been important all along. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually moved pretty quick. And I say I have the best seat in the house, because as a producer, we've believed in this project from the very beginning. And so mine isn't the sexiest job. It's all the stress.
It sounds pretty sexy.
Literally today, Bethany, my wife, was like, you're starting to get some gray hairs on your front, and I'm like, it's all Mitch.
It's from me. That's right. What I don't have, I give to him, which are gray hairs.
I have a question.
I don't have any hairs.
Why New Mexico and not Old Mexico? Hard-hitting
question. We'll be right back with that answer in just a second. New Mexico, it's funny because I think the hardest factor when you're trying to make a pilot episode, right? You don't have anyone who really believes in it yet, other than thankfully the people that we found that helped us, the churches and the people who give us our funding and all those kinds of things, you don't really have much at your disposal.
Yeah.
So usually you try to film in the most easy to access place, usually one location, couple of actors. And we were like, well, let's go to the desert and let's do it for real, And so New Mexico was like the best at the time place that we could find that had what we needed, which was sand, just a big old pile of sand, and a desert look that also had, a Starbucks nearby.
Those are the requirements.
Right.
I remember it's like Starbucks and like a Chick-fil-A nearby.
Airport desert.
There wasn't.
Airport.
Was there Chick-fil-A?
I actually don't know if there was. This is a very small town.
Yeah.
This is before
I
the
don't think there was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that was like learning from Carl's.
We had an
Carlsbad
Arby's
was-
budget. Chick-fil-A was the rest of the season.
That makes sense.
No offense, Arby's.
Yeah.
They have the meats.
I have I have a personal
Yeah.
vendetta against Arby's. I
Really?
don't think it should
Do you?
exist, to be honest.
We'll talk
I don't know
about
if we
it
can have
after
that.
this break.
I don't. Yeah. Can you say that?
Well, yeah, we can say
Yeah.
that. I have a question. I've always kind of wondered, like, you guys brought this idea to life. And I don't think a lot of people know, but it was only shot, the pilot episode, on one camera. Is that true?
Yeah.
And how did you manage to make it look like it was multiple camera, like, and look tight budget?
Yeah.
Churches helping, all of that, like very like from the ground up, and then you shot it on one camera. Like, talk us a little bit about like what that felt like, because to me it's crazy because it looks like a full production.
Nice.
The pilot episode, and I'm sure a
Good.
million of you agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for just having an incredible crew. A lot of our crew, in addition to having people helping us from local churches, because I've been working on The Chosen for the past few years, we also got great crew members who came over from The Chosen and helped us. And so our camera operator is one of the camera operators on The Chosen.
Yeah.
And he and I just kind of looked at it and we were like, how do we make this feel right? With that same... You want the show to feel like you captured it live, even though, of course, we are orchestrating it. Of course, we are controlling it, simulating it. You know what I mean? But then you still want it to kind of have that live feeling. And Daniel, our camera operator, was just so good at that. And so really, it was just in the collaboration that feeling, I think, came to life. We both had the same goal. And it was just executed so well through the work he did.
And I think so much of what you just touched on too is a lot of the heartbeat and the interactions we see in the show are just these relational happenings between 2 people, 3 people, 4, 10, 20, sometimes more. Even as, now that we've wrapped season 1 of production and we've looked at the rest of the episodes, of course, we've all been able to see them being filmed, see them being written. So we have more insight. But from what you can share, because we went to a 2-camera setup for the rest of season 1, what was the challenges of that? But at the same time, how did that make the job easier as we look towards these relational equity moments?
It's a great question. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just so, it then kind of became live because we had now 2 cameras that can shoot both directions. We can actually be in there in the moment, sometimes capturing the entire scene just from those 2 angles. And so what that means, not to get too much in the weeds, but a lot of times what can hold you back with just having the 1 camera is, okay, well, if this actor improvises something, I have to remember that. So then when we go around and get the other actor, I can replicate it. But when you're shooting both people in the scene talking at the same time, if one of them has an idea, they can go for it, and the other one can react to that, and we can have it captured. And so I think it made us a lot looser, a lot more free. We had a lot more fun. And it also meant that I got lots of practice doing this, looking at both cameras. It was like a tennis match, you know. It was fun. It definitely, I think, made us. The rest of the episodes of this season are going to feel a lot more kinetic and a lot more fun because of how we captured it.
So as we talk about kinetic and fun, let's look towards the future of what's about to come down the pipeline. From what you shot on set, what would you say that you can share was the most ambitious scene to shoot, the most ambitious sequence to go after, whether it be big because of the amount of people, big because of the weight of the scene, or just because it was ambitious because of a location or what was happening in the scene? What would you say was the most ambitious scene that we shot?
The whole season is ambitious. I feel like I write scripts and then I'm like, it'll be fun.
This is fun.
There are scenes where we have characters singing. There are scenes where we have whole scenes that rely on how an animal performs.
Yeah.
There are scenes where
Animals
we have
and-
stunts. We have so many things that we couldn't do in the pilot that we got to do this season that it kind of feels hard to narrow it down to like one. But do you have one that comes to mind, or?
There's multiple. I think one of our hardest locations that was like it was very expensive for 2 days. The Snow Canyon.
Yeah.
And maybe
beautiful
redact that.
location.
No. Yeah, we can say that.
We're not talking bad about that.
Yeah. No.
Expensive.
Yeah. We definitely were like, oh. I was going into it. I was like, Mitch, is it worth it? And Justin Tolley, one of our producers, and he's also functioned this season as a line producer. So like, he ultimately is responsible for the budget. And there were several times he tried to pitch Mitch on like other locations that were just easier, more accessible. Snow Canyon, one, it was a state park, and so we didn't own the park. We couldn't shut it down. And so, if you see a blooper reel at some point, you'll see people biking. We have to hold and wait for, we're having to fix some shots with VFX because there's cars in the background. Like it's a state park, and so they can only lose so much money. But there were multiple sets there. We were only there 2 days, but there's a portion that can we share what scenes are there?
Sure.
Maybe I'll wait.
Yeah, everything that we shot there looked so good.
So good.
It was to me valuable.
Of course, Mitch picks a spot that's like. It's not next to the road.
Yeah,
it's like a mile off the road.
Got a hike out there.
It wasn't really a mile, but it was a decent hike. And so,
close to it.
There's rocks, and so the crew, of course, they have a bunch of restrictions of like where you can put gear, and you can't touch any plants that are there, and those kind of things. And so it was a tough, like the producing team, like a full day I was driving a van because we just we had to jump in and fill other roles because we didn't have enough people. And all of our producers, like the night before, we were texting of like what everybody else was doing, not producing. We're doing all these other jobs because it was such a hard location. But the crew just rallied. I mean, when you look. I remember the moment I went to the RV. I think it was the next day, and I was watching some of the footage from actually the second day. I didn't even make it to set the whole second day because I was busy doing some other things. And I turned to you, I was like, "There's no way that's our show." The shot, they come around this corner, and like you just see these mountains in the background. Like our show. The world feels so much bigger because of these locations and actually having the funding to do it. It was so hard physically, but looking back, man, I'm so glad that we shot those 2 locations. And now the other location that was still in the same park, we had a company move. It was our only company move the whole 30-day shoot.
Which is when you are filming somewhere and you don't just say, let's just walk 10 feet over there and shoot. You have to take everything down, all the cameras, all the actors, all the props, everything, load them into trucks, vans, vehicles, and drive somewhere else for, if you don't know what a company move is.
So we did all that and then drove, several miles to another part of the park, unloaded everything, and but that second spot matches perfectly. That location is the opening of episode 2. And it's some other spots too that we use that, but it matches so well with where we shot the pilot episode in New Mexico. Completely different states, but it looks great and it's well worth it.
You don't think people would know this is definitely shot somewhere else? Like it's like a continuity thing. It looks fine.
There's several shots that it feels like it could be.
It's if you think about it, it's a desert, right? So it's going to continue to change and mold. All the environment is going to change as characters are moving. A big and important thing for me with this season was I don't want the show to feel small. I don't want the world of the show to feel small. Even though our show's focus is small, I kind of like to feel like our focus is small in a much bigger world. And going to some of these places that existed in St. George, I think really helped give that feeling. We're lost. I mean, they're not lost in the desert yet, but it's coming. But we'll see what happens. They might make it. We'll see.
It's only a 3-week journey.
It'll be easy.
Do it.
It should be fun.
2 weeks to flatten out the curve.
We only need 1 season.
That's right. It's easy.
I think the first time we showed up to set, because our job is way different. We're social media guys, and we're just there to capture everything and all that.
Disrupt us.
We showed up kind of dressed, pretty much, mess with you, and We showed up dressed definitely not prepared. We showed up so bougie.
You dressed like this. You guys were we can go outside.
It was incredibly hot, and as we're walking,
you look good though.
You look great.
I appreciate it.
You looked great.
I
loved watching you waste your money. It was awesome.
Well, I show up in New Balances, low shoes, and then I remember walking over and then base camp, and we're like, okay, I don't see anything because we're amateurs. We
Right.
don't know what we're doing. And then we walk down to like actual set, and like we have to hike down there, and I'm in red hot sand, and I'm wearing like white socks, and like we did everything wrong that you could have done, like coming to set.
We tried to warn you.
Yeah,
I wore boots, to be fair, on the first day of production.
Yeah, but you always wear boots.
You know.
so
I do always
know.
wear boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sweating. It was hot. I felt like a diva. I was like in the tent the whole time. We still got good content.
Sat in my chair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Picking
Felt like a diva, acted like a diva,
Yeah.
but it's all good.
Oh, crafty! Like I was in there. I abused the budget.
You're the reason
Yeah.
all the fruit snacks disappeared.
That's
Yes,
what happened.
That's where they went. Yeah, except the seaweed thing. I wasn't me.
No one ate
No,
that.
So, yeah,
no one
nobody
ever eats
touched
that.
that.
Yeah, but it's important to have it.
It's short.
Yeah,
for
it
the
makes it
turtles.
feel like Hollywood.
You need some
Right.
greens on set.
You
That's
have to
true.
have to have
Yeah.
photos on set.
Well, guys, we don't have much time left. I
Yeah.
want to field one last question with y'all before we wrap our time here.
Already?
Let's go.
Wow.
This flew by. Yeah.
Time
fast.
flies when you're having fun.
That's true.
Unless
Is that why
you're
the
in
season felt so
desert.
long? I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. It was a great time.
You know.
Most
So, guys, looking ahead to the release and reception of season 1, what is the number one thing that you hope viewers take away from the Promised Land?
Oh, it's hard to say one.
Yeah.
I led with the location.
That's fair. It's
Yeah.
it's my turn. Yeah. I think. I mean, honestly, I'm just so excited to see you see the jokes come to life. If that makes sense. Like I feel like
That doesn't make sense. Actually.
we. Yeah, it does. It's not funny. We work so hard to make sure that all of the humor in the show is surprising. It's fresh. It's fun. It's something you probably never seen before in a show like this. Both as a biblically based production and also just in general, this type of show. I hope it feels that way, and I really can't wait for people to see it and be surprised. I think for me, I'm so looking forward to those first comments of people who are live reacting to the episode and are seeing what we've put together. Because you're gonna see a lot as we share different things from our set, but there's so much that you're not ready for. That's gonna be fun, it's gonna be funny, and it's gonna be sweet. And those moments, I just can't wait for people to see them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Yeah.
can I just spoil it?
Yeah.
No. I won't.
Look, episode 2. No, it was it's watching you guys film all those things, and people have no idea like what's coming. Like it's so good.
Yeah. I think my answer is all the other characters that we haven't gotten to spend
That's
time
right.
with. Because there's some characters, in the pilot, like Joshua has just a handful of lines.
got like a line or two.
Artoon,
Yeah.
He does a great job. But even just in the episode 2, like you just get more time with Joshua.
Yeah.
And, I know you made a comment of you realized after the pilot that Korah and Moses don't ever...
They never interacted on screen.
And so that's
Yeah.
that's a portion of
Right out the
episode
gate,
2.
season 2,
And-
or episode 2.
Yeah, all these other characters that we just get a moment with, and like everybody already has their favorites, and that's the amazing part. Is like people already are clinging on to these other characters, and like it's just a very brief moment.
Yeah.
But once you get to spend 5 more episodes with them, like it just becomes even more meaningful, and like
That's
you
right.
said, sweet. And I think people have their favorites going in, and then just some of the even like improv. I mean, Mitch is so talented at writing, but we also have such an amazing
Let him
cast
say it.
that like there's so many great jokes that you're gonna get the credit for.
Yeah.
That was all our cast.
We made up on
that,
the. Oh yeah.
Like there's so many moments that
Right.
like that is so funny, and Mitch is like, I didn't write that.
That's not me. That's not me.
That's our cast.
That's
Which
them.
commandment does
Yeah.
that fall under?
Yeah.
I just want to check.
We'll come back to that. Yeah.
Is there anything you can spoil for just this crowd that's like watching? These are dedicated tribe people.
Yeah.
Tribe
members.
members, tribe people. I'm sorry, I apologize. Doesn't have to be super big,
Yeah.
but give them a little something.
That's all you.
I've got you. So, as Richie said, what I am so excited for as well is for you to see these characters interact. Characters that you have never seen interact with each other, and use characters that we haven't gotten a chance to really know as well as we did in the pilot. And we're going to be fixing that very soon. I'm going to spoil this one thing, I
Alright,
guess.
there we go.
There are some characters that didn't even know that Jasusi existed in the pilot, who in these next few episodes are going to get to know him.
Whoa.
And you're
I
gonna
don't
find
even
out.
know what you're talking about.
You
so
heard
I'm
it here
excited.
first, fans.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're one of the main characters of our pilot is going to get to know Jasusi very closely, and it's not Korah.
Oh.
Get ready.
Well, guys, I think it's a great segue to end this time. Thank y'all for sitting down with us. Guys, if y'all enjoyed this, let us know in the comments. We'll work on getting more episodes out. But for now, go watch the pilot again. If you haven't watched it in a while, you'll have season 1 before you know it. And this has been episode 1 of the Promised Pod. We'll see y'all later.
That was terrible.
Oh, that sucked. Yeah,
Thank you. That was really
never
good.
aired this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it will not go anywhere.